Hi there, everybody. Jason and family here with Kirk, Giordano Plastering. We've got my dad in the back, Dan over there, Carl's holding the camera, and today what we're going to show you is how to fix bad texture patches on your stucco home. Now, these two homes, we're here because they had insulation blown in. These are about 100-year-old homes, and they didn't used to build them with insulation in between the stud bays. So what do? A company comes out, and they take big drills, and they drill holes, and then they use blowers, and they blow insulation into the stud bays. That helps with your thermal rating, it helps with soundproofing, all of those reasons for that. And then you got people who do the best they can to patch it, and they get close, but they didn't quite get it on the money. Now, these are a two-coat system. This was a float finish that's been painted a bunch of times in the 100 years. And so you can see bits of where the peeling paint has softened things, and bits where there's a little bit more sandy texture visible. So what we're going to do is, you can see some of these other holes that we've already done, and I'm going to show you exactly the process we use for that. So first, you take a garbage trowel. You don't want to use a good trowel for this. You can use a 3-in-1 putty knife. You can use anything you got to scrape it. So sorry for the noise, but I'm going to show you. First, you scrape this stuff. You use the heel or the toe of your trowel to get everything off, because what you don't want it sticking over the edge there. You see how this edge is very sharp and over. Now, if they had simply scraped this, it might have been an acceptable match. It still wouldn't have been on the money, but it might have been close enough. So anyway, we are going to finish scraping the rest of these. I'll start with this one. So you scrape it down to where you're below flush. That way, when we put new material on it, we don't end up with a huge hump. And you should wear a mask for this. You should wear eye protection. We were with the rest of these patches, but we're not, because that would make it real hard to show you guys. So I've got these two. After you scrape it down, you use a bonding agent. We use Weldcrete. This will allow the new stucco to adhere to the painted surface. Of course, the stucco will adhere to this patch they did, but the painted surface, if you don't put a bonding agent, it'll come off in, who knows, 3 to 6 months, maybe never, maybe faster than that. All right, so just to show you on this house, and then afterwards I'll show you that house, I'm just going to do these two real quick. And so what we have done here is we've mixed up two different materials. I have regular Portland cement stucco, and I have 2030. This is a color coat, a more fine finish sand. If you're looking at finish coats, top coats, 2030 would be qualified as fine. So first, I'm going to use the Portland cement. And since I've already scraped it, this is very, very easy. You just get a little bit on your trowel and you fill it in there. Then I'll put this stuff back. Next, just to show you guys the difference in these. Now, I already know which one of these matches on the money, but since we can, I'm going to show both. And there's the 2030. Now, normally you might let this set up a few minutes, but since I'm not going to do that, get your float, and we just take off the excess around our edges, and then just hit it gently. You want to use the whole thing. You don't want to hit it like this. You want to just kind of use the whole body of the float, and that one's done. Now, with the 2030, I'll do the same thing. Hit the edges and just kind of float inward, downward. We want to cover the patch, and that's pretty close. All right, so if you can zoom in on these two, you can see this one, the sand is too fine. It doesn't match the existing because it was done with a Portland cement base coat with the heavy, big sand. So if they paint this, it's going to be noticeably different because the sand particles are too small. Now this one, when they paint this, it's going to blend in almost perfectly because it's using the same size sand. Even though this has been softened, many times with the layers of paint, this is still the way to patch and match this one. All right, now I want to show you guys this house. Now this house is extremely similar. They were probably built at the same time, but it has a slightly different finish. This is more of a dash finish that's been painted, and you don't have these same flat areas where the layers of peeling paint over the years is visible. So while we're going to do it very similarly, it needs to look a little different. They also used a different material. The patching was done by two different people. And so this house, we've noticed, is much harder to get this stuff off. Now, the most important thing when we're trying to get these off is some of these are very proud. They're sticking out over the edge. You can see here where I've started. The most important thing for us is to break these down to where we're not going to have a big hump when it's patched. All right, there's one. Sorry for the noise. I know this is loud right in the microphone. Okay, so we're good enough there. Then we apply our glue. We're just going to do the same thing here that we did there. We glue it. I'm going to grab some material. Then we spread it out. Now you have to go over the circle a little bit so that we can feather the things in. And then just like we did before, I like to hit my edges. Then we just go over the body. Now I had a little too much water on there, so you saw it all wash off. That's okay. I can fix that in a minute. All right, so that was a little wet. It dripped a little bit, but you can see the intent there. Now, when these are painted, this has the correct sand, which is going to match what's on the wall, as opposed to this very fine color coat type finish sand, which is not going to match. It would be very noticeable if they painted it. Paint enhances flaws of stucco. It highlights shadows and differences in light. So people often think, oh, I'm going to paint it and it'll blend right in. No, you have to get it right with the stucco. The paint is just your top layer. It's not going to hide anything. So we're going to finish these up in the same method that I did. And of course, I'm going to fix that one. And then when it's all done, we'll walk you down this hallway and we'll show you. We're all done here. You can see all of these different holes we did on this house. We did a bunch on this house as well. It's on all four sides of both houses. We've completed them. We've matched everyone to the best that we can on each wall. Every wall can be a little different. And so if you just follow me out this way, you can kind of see, hopefully the camera will show what we've worked on, what we've done. And then we're finishing up today, and we had somebody. This is our friend Van. He saw our truck. He saw us, my dad Kirk right here, and he wanted to come say hi and be in a video.
I'm a huge fan.
Hey, a pleasure, man. We make them for you guys. We're glad you're watching.
His sister Tam, for all you single guys.
Hi, Tam.
I'm kidding.
Anyway, guys, I hope you learned something. I hope you learned how to fix some bad textures on stucco. And as usual, we'll see you on the next one. All right, folks, as always, we want to say thank you for watching. If you like what we put out, please like and subscribe, and we'll keep making content for you. And as usual, we'll see you on the next one.